So I've been making some videos, and it's coming up to or just after the winter solstice, and I think because I've been talking about checkers and I've been talking about the energies and viewing them in myself and viewing them in the ground, they just started coming to life in a whole new way. And I'd made a video, and I was just sitting there and letting the energies come through, and this energy of the ridgeway coming through the van and coming through the dell there just started getting much stronger. And also the energies, these deep, dark, rich energies in the dell also were just rising much more strongly. It was, you could see and feel it much more strongly. And also this energy coming through the dell of the ridgeway was getting much stronger. And it was coming through, and it was coming to the gatehouse at Chequers. And I realised in me, I just hadn't fully viewed through Chequers, because it's private, because the Prime Minister lives there, because it's forbidden, all of those kind of things there, even though I'm a bit kind of a rebel anyway. I just hadn't wanted to go in there. But the energy was really beckoning me through. So I just went with it, and it just slowly started going across the land up towards Chequers and in front of Chequers. And I just realised that not only had people not walked it, they hadn't viewed it. So they hadn't viewed the whole chalice, they just viewed half the chalice. They didn't know it was there, because this bit was taboo. And it's a bit like, again, it's the female side of the chalice, and if it's thought of as taboo or something like that, but you know, there are also men with machine guns there, as I mentioned, and things like that. But you know, you soon know about it if you go through the gate there. I hadn't gone through, but the energy really wanted me to follow. It was slowly going across, and it was the same as doing healing. It would come to bits, and it'd hang out there for a while, and it would open, and then it would go further. We went right past the front of the house, and I also ventured a bit into Chequers. I don't really now, but I just wanted to, because also in my mind's eye there was something like, you know, people talk about reptilians or dark energies or things like that. I thought, oh, what's this going to be like? So I let myself, you know, feel the energies, and there wasn't, to me, any of that. There wasn't any dark energies. I don't really know how to deal with that anyway, but it was just empty. It just hadn't been used energetically. And we just kept on going up. We just went all the way up, slowly, bit by bit, right up to Beacon Hill. And as soon as it got up on Beacon Hill, it connected. It connected right the way, I could feel it, right the way down into Aysbury. It's coming right through here and off to Coombe Hill. And I think just because it hadn't been viewed and it hadn't been walked, the energies had died down there. And just psychically or energetically walking along with it, it opened it up. At least for me, it did. And it wasn't the same as me making videos and talking about it. It was a strong experience. It was like the land wanted to activate. It wanted to be stronger. It wanted a communication with people, that the Ridgeway is designed to communicate with people. For me, it is a sacred site, and sacred sites are designed as a mirror of us, to work together with us. The land, always when I go there, the land wants to work. And so that opened, and the energy through the dell just got much stronger, because this line of energy now was just pouring through the dell. And as that happened, these really quite dark, strong energies started rising out of the ground. And this has happened a few times for me when I've worked with sites that haven't been worked with for a long time, that the earth energies are very much earth energies, and there's the power and the darkness and the strength to them. And I was kind of used to that, and the dell does make a circle, and you've got, you know, the east and west, which is the ridgeway coming through it, and the north and south, which are these ancient paths coming through it. So it makes a symbol as it is, and contains the energy because it's a circle. So I was just sitting there and I just made a decrelate, whatever the word is, you know, that for good and beneficial energies, and like in a healing session, just allowed these beings, these darker energies, to rise out of the ground. They're very strong, very dark, just right. And dark isn't bad, it's just earth. It's just earth energies. There's a potency to them. And from working with other sites, what happens, that rises and gains potency. And if it hasn't been worked for a while, that goes on for a while and builds up a potency, and then connects. A shaft of light comes down, and then it's no longer dark anymore, because you get both. You get the light and that they are both communicating, and then this whole thing goes off. So I was kind of waiting for that to happen. I was waiting for this energy to accumulate and this basically shaft of light to come down and be a communication with the heavens. But that didn't happen. It just grew and grew until the whole dell was full of this energy, and it had risen in me at the same time. And something I totally didn't expect, it just got to kind of popping point, and instead of this light coming down, the energies just rushed off. They opened up all along the ridgeway and right up to the tops of the hills, and that was the place they connected to the heavens. I was expecting it here, but as we were working, this left to right just went off, and it reminded me of like a buffalo's horns, because you've got the two horns coming up, and they graze bullocks there and cows there, and they do have these horns, and that is, you know, the bull and the cow are a sacred animal, and they are a powerful animal. For me, it is a bit like the pubic centre. There's a strength, and it also, and the words that came into my head was, this is a house of power. Whether that, you know, and Chequers kind of that, but that is in the earth there. It's a strong site there. But as this energy went up and connected to the top of the hills, and then this energy started coming down, I think because it had built, it's like an orgasm, it just builds and builds and then whooshes off, so everything lights up much more strongly than it normally did. And the hills were as if they were hollow with thousands of little lights, and it was like there was this horseshoe shape that was just slowly lifting out the earth, and it felt like a spaceship. That was it was like, and then I realised it wasn't a spaceship, but because it didn't have to go anywhere, but it was a place that higher beings and higher energies could land into. So it had that quality of higher or space travel or higher beings coming into it. And it wasn't a portal where something would just travel through. It was more like a port where something could arrive, an energy could arrive the same way into the womb. You know, the sperm comes in, the egg comes in, they come together, and something comes in and arrives and becomes life. It was that kind of quality. It's the right shape. You've got the cup, you've got the prayer, you've got the energies of creation. So it was like a place that these energies were travelling in, and it had the matrix there to connect to all on earth, because it had the higher centres, it had the heart centre, it had the hara, it had the pelvis, it had the male, the female, it had all aspects of what is in us and in the land. And it felt like it was that within the ridgeway, for me, that centre is the pubic centre, which is to do with creation, and that it was giving that power that could run along the ridgeway in both ways and help light up the whole ridgeway. And it felt like it was for the whole of England or the whole of UK or something like that. It was a very powerful energy, And just that bit of allowing it to travel through Chequers was what actually allowed it to come to life. That human contact, that human interaction through Chequers brought it to life. And not only were like it connection to the beyond and the beyond coming in, it was allowing the lower energies to come up and transform and leave. So it became like this station for spiritual energies and high energies to arrive and leave through, and for creation in us and transformation. So for me it was a very powerful experience, but also it really showed me that I think it been used in that in times gone by, you know, for birth ceremonies, for fertility ceremonies, for just bringing creation to earth. And you've got to remember, it's not like humans have built a stone circle. This is the shape of the land. This was there before humans were there. These energies would have been going off before humans were there. So for me, this is one of those sites that predates us, and that those energies accumulate, then grow there. And for me, it's one of probably all around the world. There's sites like that that help create life on Earth. That's the only way I can put it. So for me, it is an important site and a powerful site. And we can't walk on the lands at Chequers, but we can do it energetically. And we won't do it this time, we'll do it next time. We can work with the sexual organs and the kidneys at a later date. But on top of Beacon Hill, there's an incredible, powerful energy point towards that circle I showed at front of that. That is like these beings come down there, and it is like they are incredibly wise, and they just turn into this energy. And it is like, I've never experienced it, never thought of much of the kind of Arthur type legends, but it was a bit like that. It's a bit like the energies, the high energies of governance come down into the top of Beacon Hill. So you've got the Prime Minister living there. It'd be handy if they could connect with those energies. It'd be even better if we could just walk along it ourselves. But there is a very potent energy there, and for me it wants to work. And there's something there about spiritual governments, which is what we're going through at the minute. You know, people don't trust the governments anymore. People are looking for a way that they can properly govern themselves without actually having politicians involved in it. That there's some spiritual government. And that is the qualities there for me, is this spiritual governance. That is incredibly healing. We'll do that next time. We're going to do this initial initiation first, and we'll go on to that, onto what happens at Beacon Hill next. If people want, go on to that next time. So, are we okay going on that journey? We're okay? No one iffy about that? No. Alright, we'll do it. Now, I don't know if it will work, because it happened that first time and it all opened. And now when I sit there, there's not lots of dark energies coming up because it's all working. But I think there's some kind of relevance of just going through that whole process, and that for me it will help at Chequers, it will help in us, it will help in creation, it will help for the earth, for all of those, you know, for me that site is calling to be worked with, and it's ripe to do so. Okay, good. Okay, so closing your eyes and dropping into the holographic breathing. And being in the dell at Chequers, facing north, into the cup. You connected to Beacon Hill, which is a bit more of a female energy, to Coombe Hill, which is a bit more of a male energy, to the earth, to the heavens. And there's a strong earth energy in the dell there, and very magical, has a very magical quality to it. And being aware of the ridgeway and the energies of the ridgeway coming straight left to right, right to left through the dell. And we've been talking a lot about it, so it's kind of brought the energies to life there a bit. And we've been doing meditations as if we're there, so we've been interacting with it a bit. So just be with that and the energies coming through the dell, and they come out through the left hand side of the dell to the gatehouse at Chequers. And be with the energies there and just notice if they want to pull you through, or if you want to walk through, and going through the gatehouse there is an actual arch. You can go through the arch and start venturing out across the gardens there at Chequers. And notice as you go with the energies of the ridgeway, it starts bringing that bit of land more to life. It's a bit like it's been forbidden up till now, but we can go with that, and that it comes more to life. And also remembering the holographic breathing. The holographic breathing helps you communicate with the earth and the energies of the earth. Slowly trekking along, and it comes to the corner just in front of Chequers house itself there. Really lovely healing energy there in front of the house. Slowly going past the house. If you want to look inside, I guess it's okay. Just seemed quite empty to me. But the line is in front of the house, and slowly making your way up towards Beacon Hill, being with the holographic breathing. And you may stop at different places where the energy may seem a little bit stark or a little bit slow, and just wait there at those places and let the energy unravel. You've got this whole strength of energy from Ivinghoe Beacon coming through, and the other side from Heytesbury, and you're coming up Beacon Hill and to the ridge up towards Beacon Hill. Bit by bit the energies opening up as you go up there. Just coming up onto the ridge, onto Beacon Hill, and as you get there it connects from Ivinghoe Beacon through there, Chequers, up through this area that few people have walked on and has been forbidden, and it connects to the energies on Beacon Hill and going to Aysbury. So suddenly the ridgeway is more alive. Suddenly it's like the acupuncture meridian is whole. The energy is travelling completely from it. The whole ridgeway benefits. It's not just that bit benefits, the whole ridgeway benefits. And in a way you allow yourself to open up through part of yourself which may also have been forbidden, or you were scared to go there. And that energy opens along the whole ridgeway, and you're sitting back in the dell, and you can feel this pulse of energy travelling through you of the ridge. When the whole ampage has gone up, it's much stronger, it's much brighter, and it spreads off directly across Chequers. Notice how you may have been avoiding that bit where it went through Chequers because it was private, or you weren't meant to go there. But energetically, the land wants it, and energetically, it's okay. It's healing to allow that. So you've got this much stronger energy travelling through you side to side. Being aware of the energies in the dell, and with this stronger energy coming through you, they start coming to life. They want to talk. The dark energies that relate to our darker energies right down into the sit bones, to the sexual organs, these rich, deep, potent energies start rising out of the ground slowly, unraveling, opening up, and being aware of all there, and just asking for beneficial energies of Chequers to come with you on this journey. And they're rising out of the ground, filling up the dell, rising up through you, your own darker energies from your pelvis, from your sit bones, from your sexual organs, also talking and rising in your body. And it's in a circle there, so it's slowly they're coming up, and in a way you're waiting for a spiritual energy to come down to balance that, but it doesn't happen. It just keeps these deep, rich, powerful energies rising and filling the dell higher and higher, and talking and becoming stronger. And there's two presences there. It's like this is a tantric site. Two major energies are rising, one male and one female, as well as lots of other energies. And they rise until the dell is becoming quite full, quite strong and full and high. And it's getting like a bubble of energy there. Now at a certain point that just releases and washes off. It stays in the dell, but it travels along the ridge in both directions, up the hills, up to the top of Coombe Hill, up to the top of Beacon Hill, and that energy makes like a pair of horns, and the hills become inanimate. They start becoming full of light, sparkly light. And the tops of the hills are like a connection to the heavens, and it feels like it's making like a horseshoe shape. It's a bit like a spaceship. It's a oracle. It's a place for heavenly energies to arrive. It's a place for the earth energies to leave. It's like a port, and it's alive as if it could fly, and it grounds down into the valley, into the cup in front of you. It grounds back to the pond behind you as the earth. So it makes this shape of a chalice that's a bit like a spaceship or a universal connection to the higher energies or higher beings. And it connects upwards. It's a bit like things come to the top of the hills, they get lighter and they start rising to the heavens, and the heavenly energies come down into the top of the hill. Higher beings, higher energies can come in, and they can experience the whole earth. They can experience our experience. They're the higher energies on the top of the hills. There's the heart energies as it comes through Chequers. There's the earth energies in the valley and back towards the pond. There's the male and the female back and forth. It's a receptacle. The land there and the ridgeway make a receptacle for the higher energies, the heavenly energies to arrive. And because it's to do with the pubic center and creation, spirit can come in to the cup. Things can manifest there. Things can come to fruition there. Things can have life there. And it is in a shape, in the matrix, that these beings, these energies can come in and experience the whole world, and they can trek off. These energies and beings can go along the ridgeway, they can spread out through the land, and then they can come back to the chalice, to the cup, to the prayer, like a home, like a port. Feeling that in the lands there, feeling that in yourself, that your arms are the left and right hills, the ridgeway, that your pelvis is the valleys and the dell, and that as this center comes more alive, the energies travel along the ridgeway in both directions. The whole ridgeway becomes more alive, becomes more potent. There's a power behind this center that gives the whole ridgeway a potency where it can raise to Avesbury and the higher energies, where it can drop back to Ivinghoe Beacon, where it's much more the sacrum and the deeper energies. And breathe, and just allowing that in whatever way you feel it, within your body, within the earth. They're doing holographic breathing. Holographic breathing connects you to these energies in yourself and the energies in the land. Allow that area through Chequers to be alive, not forbidden, accessible in the land and in yourself. The land is part of us. It shouldn't be private, it shouldn't be fenced off. We are the earth. We can connect to the whole earth. Privatizing something doesn't matter, it's still accessible, and rightfully so for everybody. Allowing it to travel through the spine, breathing gently with the holographic breathing, connecting to the higher energies through your hands, through your head, connecting to the earth through your pelvis, through your feet, connecting to the male and the female, the different sides of the chalice, Coombe Hill, Beacon Hill, your left, your right, and breathe. Connected to the heavens, heavenly energies, connected to the earth and the earthly energies, connecting to the male, connecting to the female, letting those mix in yourself, and breathe. Gently breathing, and when you feel ready, gently allowing yourselves to come back. So in holographic breathing, there's a gentle motion of the jaw. Jaw opens on the in-breath, closes on the out breath, and it's a small motion, and people find their own amount, and it varies over a period of time, but it's not big, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, quarter of an inch, sometimes less. And on the same time as you're doing that, the lips are closed all of the time, and the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and as much as feels comfortable. And quite often when people are learning, and a bit later, people are used to opening the jaw and the lips open at the same time. So the lips open, or they open the jaw and the tongue comes off the roof of the mouth. But there's an innate ability, probably from suckling, that the lips can stay sealed, not tense, in a relaxed way, that they can stay closed in a relaxed way and the jaw can move, and the tongue can have a relaxed and soft seal to the roof of the mouth as the jaw moves. I'll just demonstrate so people can see that it really is a very subtle movement of the jaw. So I'll just do just for a few moments. So and very quickly you drop into an alternative state, kind of a shamanistic, very relaxed place. So we're going to go through some exercises, but this time with our eyes open. First of all, to get that seal on the lips, notice you can kind of purse your lips. You can, it goes in here, and the lips stay closed. Try that a few times. You can drop the jaw and the lips stay closed. And now also put the tongue on the roof of the mouth and pull the jaw down. And notice it's like you get a suction with the tongue as the jaw drops down. So you can make a seal, and that is very similar to what babies do. Their lips seal around the nipple in a relaxed way, and the tongue seals the nipple to the roof of the mouth. So we can make a seal, a natural ability to making a seal. But now doing that in a very relaxed way with a much smaller motion of the jaw. So the lips are relaxed with a light seal, the flat of the tongue on the roof of the mouth with a very relaxed seal, and now just in a small way, or however big, opening the jaw. The lips stay sealed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth, the jaw closes, the lips stay sealed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. Now make that movement a bit smaller. And now it's a bit like a pump. Notice as you're opening the jaw, it's natural to breathe in through your nose. As your jaw drops down, it's like a little pump. It brings the air in through the nose. Then as the jaw rises, it's like a pump. The breath comes out through the nose. So just being with that, and make the movement smaller. The jaw opens, you breathe in through the nose. The jaw closes, you breathe out through the nose. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. The lips stay closed with a very light seal. And now turning that round, so rather than the focus being on the jaw, you change the emphasis. Be aware of the breath coming in through your nose, and as the breath comes in, the jaw gently opens. Then as the breath comes out, the jaw gently closes, and notice how that takes the pressure away from the jaw. It becomes much more relaxed when you have the emphasis on the breath. So as you're breathing in, the jaw gently opening, the lips still have this very natural light seal, the tongue has a very natural light seal. Then as you breathe out, the jaw naturally closes. And notice there's a lot of people already closing their eyes and going into an altered state. Notice you start feeling very relaxed and it's hard to keep your eyes open. You're drifting into a different state. As you breathe in, the jaw naturally opens with it. As you breathe out, the jaw naturally closes. And smaller, slower motion of the jaw, the lips stay relaxed and closed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. Relax the back of the neck, relax the back of the head. Notice it gets harder and harder to actually do it and keep the eyes open because you're drifting into a different state of consciousness. And it's good to relax the back of the neck and back of the head because a lot of the energy is coming through there. Now letting the eyes close, and if you want, let the eyes close. Just naturally being with that. As you breathe in, the jaw is gently opening. As you breathe out, the jaw gently closing. Notice how natural that feels. You get these waves of energy, waves of relaxation moving through your body. Very soft, relaxed seal in the lips, very soft, relaxed seal in the tongue. It's the upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The tip of the tongue is close to or touching the front teeth. Maybe half an inch or an inch of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The more you do, the more of the tongue naturally starts covering the roof of the mouth. But start off with whatever feels most comfortable. Notice you go into this place that's halfway between being awake and being asleep. It's like the dream state. It's a very shamanistic space. It feels very natural. Relax the throat. As you breathe in, the chest is opening, the jaw is opening. As you breathe out, the chest is closing, the jaw is closing. As you breathe in, the abdomen is opening, the jaw is opening. As you breathe out, the abdomen is closing, the jaw is closing. You may be able to feel it right down into the pelvis. So breathing in, the pelvis is opening, the jaw opening. As you breathe out, the pelvis closing, the jaw closing. But also notice in a very subtle way, the whole face has started to breathe. This gentle motion of the jaw connects through every cell, through every part of us, and it especially connects up through the face, through the brain, through the cranium, through the neck, through the throat, connects it to the rest of the body. And this whole area that wasn't really breathing so much before, in a very subtle way starts to open and close with the breath. And it's not a physical thing you're aiming for, it's very subtle. The more subtle you do it, the stronger, more profound the experience is. And as the jaw closes, it's okay for the teeth to touch, but they just float together. There's no pressure, they're not resting and pressing together. They may just bounce around, gently touching a tiny bit. Or the jaw can just be slightly separate as you breathe out. Breathing in, the jaw gently opens with the breath. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. It relaxes open and it relaxes closed. You drop into a deep, shamanistic, alternative space. channel. But it's your own channel, it's you, your energies, connecting with the earth, connecting with the higher self, which are reflections of you, very resourceful, very nutritious on all levels. Okay, and gently allowing yourself to come back.